Welcome everyone to this Alumni of the Month webinar for November. It's so nice to see so many of you guys here today. So today we have Salinda with us, a graduate from the International Master Program in Computer Engineering. Welcome, Salinda.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Oh, it's so nice to have you here. But before we let Salinda take the floor, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the concept of alumni and the alumni network that we have here at Mid Sweden University. So I'm going to do that shortly. I also just wanted to point out that this webinar will be recorded and available on our website. So for this session, feel free to have the cameras on or off as you please. At the end, you have the possibility to ask questions and we can then turn off the recording if you want for that as well. Okay, let's continue. I want to show you this film about our alumni at Mid Sweden University.
If we ask baby Nina who and what alumni are, we probably won't get a great answer. But then she is a baby. An alumnus is someone who's actually spent time studying at our university. So let's skip forward a few years. Here's Nina at school, and there's an actual university alumnus telling his school class about his career and how important our university was for him. And now Nina's come to university, she's finding alumni everywhere. She's listening to alumni guest speakers from the working world. She's applying her fresh perspectives to projects and thesis ideas from alumni and industry. She's enjoying workplace visits arranged with alumni. She's a part of research funded by alumni, and she's being mentored by an alumnus too. An alumnus providing Nina with invaluable ideas about the road ahead. And when she finishes her studies, she stops being student Nina and transforms into alumni Nina. As a new alumni, she enjoys expanding her social and professional networks, comes to events, likes us on Facebook, joins our LinkedIn group. She even sets up her own alumni group in the city she lives in. Cheers! And as time moves on, she makes more use of her old university too, developing and testing a clever new business idea, finding and recruiting the right talent for her company, investing in further education and training, keeping her team and herself up to date with new knowledge, techniques and ideas, commissioning university facilities and clever clocks to explore a new opportunity. No, I've still no idea what that is. And over the years, Nina finds herself mentoring a student, passing on her own experience, coming back to campus to provide a guest lecture, attending free cultural and scientific lectures that keep her challenged, informed and entertained, providing feedback on education programs, and donating money and time to university projects like those supporting students or funding research tackling the social, medical and scientific problems we all face. And being proud of the contribution her university and fellow alumni have made to the world, she tells her children, grandchildren and others about it too, encourages them to choose and support us. And that's it. That's who and what alumni are, how they stay in touch and support us, and how we support them. People from every walk of life with very different ideas, careers, lifestyles and passions. But, like Nina, all united in their lifelong connection with each other and their university. Thanks, Nina.
So, now you know all about what alumni are. But I also wanted to talk a little bit about the alumni network at Mid Sweden University. What is so special about this network is that you can join once you have completed 7.5 ECTS, which is basically a course. So many of you who are listening here today can actually already join our alumni network. So this also means that the network is a fantastic mix of our current students and our former students, our graduates. So this is a fantastic opportunity for you guys to expand your network while you're still at Mid Sweden University, preparing you for that future career. So how do you join? Well, you go to our website, /alumni, and you complete the form that's there. You need to have a T number or a student identification number to be able to join, and you can find that at the back of your MEN card. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns with the process, you're welcome to contact us. Just email us at our email address. And I believe both email address and the links will be put in the chat now. We also have a LinkedIn group that you can join, or more, I should say that we're very active on LinkedIn, Mid Sweden University. So we have about 30,000 followers there, many of them alumni themselves. So again, this is a fantastic opportunity to go in there, follow us if you're not already doing that, find those alumni, contact them, and expand your network. We also have a Facebook group, the Mion Alumni group, that you can join, and you will find the link in the chat for that one as well. But now it is time to welcome Salinda. Salinda is a graduate from the International Master Program in Computer Engineering. He is a former digital ambassador, so he has shared his student life at Mid Sweden University with us in the past. He is also a former global Swede, or maybe not former, a current global Swede, I should say. And if you don't know what a global Swede is, there's a link in the chat, so you can check that out as well. And he is now a working professional living in Sundsvall. So welcome, Salinda. The floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Maria, and thanks a lot for that little introduction. And also, thanks for having me here. It's a really honor to be a guest. Yes, talking about the history with the journey to Sundsvall. Actually, it started around 2017. So I had a chance to, I'm from Sri Lanka. I had a chance to work for a Swedish company back in 2017. So that's how I got to know about Sweden. So meanwhile, at that time I was planning to do my higher studies, and I had determined to go abroad for that. So I was evaluating a couple of destinations to go there. And in between, I had a chance to visit Stockholm and meet a few of my colleagues there. And then I got to know that people are coming to study for Sweden, and many Sri Lankans have done that. And it's a great, learning culture compared to other destinations that are most popular ones. So I was thinking, okay, I should give it a go. So also I was targeting actually, so Sweden and Finland both. So got to know that similar culture would be there in terms of education stuff. So I applied in 2018. And honestly, I was planning to go to Finland at that time. I was offered a scholarship as well for one of the universities. So I was planning that, but I don't know, for some reason, my visa was not issued from them on time. So I had to postpone the whole thing from 1 year, basically. So then, for 2019, I again applied for both options, and Sweden and Finland. Then I got the opportunity to study in Mid Sweden University. Then I directly took that chance, and I stopped the Finland process right there and went ahead. Around 2019 August, I was ended up here. I mean, it's like a coming to like a different world for me, honestly. So at one evening, I was rushing through the busy schedule in Colombo with hot and humid air and with a lot of traffics. Then suddenly wake up in a nice, calm and quiet environment in Sundsvall. It was, it's like I felt like going to like a different world. Of course, it was like a challenging. I mean, it's for me, it's like an adventure because I'm not alone. I was accompanied with my family and kids. Initially, I thought doing this higher studies way before, like in 2012. But I got married and had kids, and things has to postpone. But my passion for learning has never decayed, and I knew that I had a lot of things I have missed. That especially I'm from the IT industry, so the technologies are coming and the industry is updating in a rapid phase, and I want to make it cool somehow. So that's the decision I took. Okay, I'll give it a go. Don't get discouraged, even though we have a family. It's never too late. So I know it's very challenging, and it could be like it could go wrong as well. But I made that choice. Anyway, I was kind of radical person from the beginning. Even in the industry, one time I had a chance to work in Singapore as well. So I went there and worked there and explored. So now I thought it's time to explore different part of the world and give it a go. So that's how I ended up here. But all in all, it was had a lot of experience, met a lot of new friends, and had the chance to experience different cultures from different perspectives, especially when it comes to learning. The learning culture is a lot more different than Sri Lanka we had. So in that case, I'm really happy that I made this choice and had the opportunity to learn new technologies and new trends in the industry. And most importantly, I enjoyed that journey rather than thinking about the destination, because coming to a different country and doing studies and thinking about the future could be daunting. It could be like suddenly make you into like a very uncomfortable position. Of course, that could happen, but I always try to think like short-term goals, like never try to plan too much future, because things could change, I mean, drastically. Now you have experience, like we have this corona thing and the whole world is going its up and down. So that's the idea I had. But I think I really enjoyed the time I spent there, and again had many chances to learn new things, and whatever it is that come in my way, I try to put my heart and soul to it and take it as opportunity, take it as a new path to learn, new area to learn, and continue my way there. So now we are in a little bit better situation compared to that time. I think the hardest part is over from my perspective. Now it's smoothly settling into the Swedish society. So, but it's a long way to go before achieve that. I hope to continue that way in the future as well. So that's that's me in very brief. I don't have much to say. I mean, that's pretty much the story that I had to share with you. So I think I might get a lot of questions on that.
Well, thank you very much, Salinda, for that interesting presentation. I thought I will try to tease out some more information from you and ask some questions, because I think your journey is really interesting to our students, how you transitioned from a student into the working life. So you're a graduate from the Master in Computer Engineering. What skills would you say that you take from your education?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question, actually. Thinking about the skills, I think I improved on knowledge wise, because my bachelor's is also in computer engineering. But these new technologies like data science and artificial intelligence and IoT stuff. Those were not there at that time. I was doing the bachelor's. So I had a lot of gap to cover if I want to keep it up. So that's few areas that I was targeting to learn during this course, because this course was well matched with my prior education. So that's the main reason that I select this university. So I had a chance to learn that, definitely, but again I was exposed to a different learning culture, like think and explore, try more practical stuff, and listen to different perspectives, and argue with the teachers even sometimes, which I never had in Sri Lanka. So I think that's a key learning, because I lost my fear to ask questions, ask, go in and argue on some questions maybe. So I think that's a really important skill when it comes to even in the industry. So you need to have that, and also to respect other different opinions, and especially when you are doing project work, you have a chance to sit with many different people from different countries. So that's a whole different experience for me. And yeah.
Good points, and maybe some good advice for students there as well, to think about the softer skills of your education and what you take with you when you go out into the working life. So you graduated in June, was it? Not that long ago. How did it feel when you were about to embark on this next step of the life journey? Were you nervous?
that's always nervous. I mean, when it comes to near the graduation, you have a lot of challenges in your mind. From one hand, you have your thesis on the side, you need to do your presentation and you need to defend it and stuff like that. On the other side, you have your visa is going to be expired and you have to do something about that. So all in all, the best option was to find a job as as soon as possible when you are graduating, rather than wait in the last moment. So that's how I approached that way. So luckily, I could land it on a job before even graduating. Then I discussed with them and adjusted my starting date. So it was even before I finished the whole thing, like in the beginning of the June, actually I started working. Only thing at that time left with my thesis presentation. But yeah, it was quite an exciting experience to work in a Swedish company. But slowly I was on board and keep up with the other colleagues and absorbed into the company culture.
And so then, because I know your students are very busy in your final semester, right? You were saying the thesis and the events and the presentation, all that kind of stuff. So when did you start applying for jobs? When did you start the process?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's an interesting point, actually. Initially, I didn't have feel the depth of this scenario. So I was thinking, okay, I can take it at the later time. And maybe I will apply for the student extension too. I mean, we can get a job finding visa as well. But my initial plan was to like join with the company that I was doing the thesis. So we were offered the thesis doing position. So I was continued for like a couple of weeks. Then I did a little search how easy it was for our previous colleagues to join with them. Then they said it could be tough. You might not get a chance. I mean, it's not guaranteed. And one guy struggled to find a job even after like 3-4 months after graduating. So then I decided, okay, I mean, I can't take a risk. I should immediately start. So after, like in the January, then I started the thesis work on January. So towards the beginning of the February, I started my job hunt straight away.
And it seems like you got a job. Well, you say yourself you got a job before you even graduated, so you got a job quite quickly. How many jobs do you think you applied for before you got this one then?
Oh yeah, I think I mean it was never easy process, to be honest. One way, yeah, it's quite difficult, but we can take to those details later. As a number, I think I applied like proper applications to at least 30 to 40 something. Mm.
In that time, yeah. It
Yeah.
must have taken up a lot of time. Do you have any advice for students in their final semester, juggling like thesis writing, preparing for the defense, applying for jobs, maybe having a family? How do you find time for it?
Yeah, I mean it's a challenging, I know, of course. I mean, I divided my time actually. So in the morning session, I mean, you like a full working in the thesis, right? You don't have lectures. So in the morning session, I focused on my thesis work, like reading stuff, reading research papers, and thinking about writing. And the evening, I usually start a job hunt. So go into the LinkedIn and search about the company, search for good matching profiles that they have published, and also go into their website and read what they're doing. So I always try to adjust my application, uh, put some customized element into that. I mean, that's the place that I put effort actually. Other than that, it's you can just simply clicking a couple of buttons, you can apply for a job in the LinkedIn. But I wanted to do it properly. I mean, for every job that I applied, I write email like a letter to them. Yeah, to be honest, some I just like applied, but majority I was trying to customize my application for them and do that. Yes, it's a all day long work. I work until sometimes 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, sometimes in the weekends as well. Yes, it's yeah.
But in your case, it seems to have paid off very well. But it's some good advice there to the students to customize their applications and to really target the company that they're applying to as well. What would you say is the biggest difference between applying for jobs in Sweden and maybe Sri Lanka? Is there a difference there, or is the process more or less the same?
Yeah, I mean, applying wise, I think more or less no difference, but the job like process wise, I see a huge difference, because in Sri Lanka, it process a little bit quicker. You apply for a job, maybe you have like a technical interview, and if you are done with that, most probably you'll have a next interview, and might be at the end you might be offered as well. So it's more like 2 interviews. But here, for a one proper job application process, it takes at least 1.5 months. That's my experience, and that's the average time. So you have like initial screening, and then you maybe get the test to complete, and then you might get an assignment, then you get a technical interview, and after that you will get some other discussion with the senior people in the company. And yeah, so it was quite a long process. That's the main difference I see. And it takes time to get some feedback. Like sometimes you apply for a job, after like 1 month you suddenly hear. So that by that time you have actually forgotten to which position that you applied even. So happen, yeah, things like that happen actually.
So be patient and make a note of the jobs you applied for, so you don't forget.
Exactly, that's a good advice from me.
And then you got invited to some interviews. How was that? How did that feel? And any differences from what you used to? And
well, I mean, you get that nervous feeling when you are scheduled the next interview in the next week. But then again, it's more like again preparation. So first few interviews, that was quite nervous, and sometimes you have to face tests as well. then only you get the interview. But when you get that, again, it's again like you get that achievement feeling. Okay, I nailed that this interview. So then you suddenly feel, okay, now we have to prepare for the interview. And it could be stressful, especially when you're doing the other stuff as well, the thesis work. But anyway, I put some effort, like I need to brush up my technical stuff, like programming stuff. And also really did some interview preparation, like this soft question, because the other difference that I noticed in Sweden, they were not mainly go after your technical skills. Yeah, they go, but they were like more interested in your soft skills, how you cope up, what's your attitude, how you approach problems. So, I mean, honestly, those questions are challenging rather than technical questions. Technical questions, the answer you know. If it is right, it's right. You are done. You nailed it. But when you are thrown such questions like behavioral questions, I don't know, always in doubtful mind that whether I answered correctly or not, or whether I screwed it up, kind of thing. So all manner I wanted to prepare for that, but believe me, after a couple of interviews, that the nervous feeling went away, because you know you're practiced and you have done this, and you feel that patterns of questions that they're asking. Your answers have brushed up, so that maybe third, fourth interview, I mean, I don't even care because I know the answers, and yeah. So and it shows that my confidence level also for them. So yeah.
So practice makes perfect.
Practice, yeah. I mean, one advice I would give, like, you will try to like apply and get some interviews. Even doesn't matter the company. So you get the practice, you get the chance to participate in a real interview and practice.
Good point. What do you think has been the easiest part of this journey, and what has been the hardest, you think?
Well, yeah, it's also, again, a challenging question.
Yes.
Easiest, I'm a relative answer. This is easiest part, I would say, applying for jobs. The hardest part is the rejection. How do you cope after you're rejected? We naturally get down when you're rejected from someone. Yeah, I mean, that's the human nature. But then again, you need to get your head straight and accept reality. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I didn't work for like a couple of days. I mean, because when you go in the interview process, you feel that, okay, I'm going to get it. But suddenly you get the call and say, I'm sorry, and blah, blah, blah. So done.
Yeah.
So how do you behave after that? I think you need to absorb it first. Give us some time. I mean, you can't get away from it overnight. Just think about what has gone wrong. Just take a like silent day. I mean, I didn't work after. I had much hopes about a couple of companies that I was targeting. So both of them, they rejected me. Then it was kind of heartbreaking. I was afraid. Now I should apply. So kind of thing. But then again, after a couple of days, you get back to your usual rhythm and move ahead. I mean, that's the hardest part, of course. But again, you have to go through that.
Yeah, some good advice there as well. I mean, rejection is never a fun thing, but I think you're really onto something. The fact that you're absorbing it and not pushing yourself too much in that time period, and just trying to get over it and then back on into the saddle again, which is hard, of course, but it's something that needs to be done. And you ended up having a job in an international company, right? So how much Swedish is spoken in this company? I'm curious.
Honestly,
do you speak Swedish to your colleagues?
They speak when they speak each other. but officially they use English.
Okay.
It's like a widespread company all over the world. So in that case, I didn't face a problem. But I believe having Swedish is really really must. I mean, for example, if I want to go for an IT job in Sundsvall, you still need to speak the language. You don't have that luxury. But I tried that as well, but I realized it's a little bit too late to Swedish learn and go for a job. So my target area was mainly on Stockholm, more like international companies. So in that sense, I went that path. But I know the others, they are not all of them in the IT field. So yeah, Swedish language play a big role, honestly. So you might get filtered at the very beginning from that.
Så pratar du svenska nu?
Jag kan prata lite svenska. Actually, I'm learning a little. Now I can understand slightly some conversation, but can't speak very well. But learning. The good thing is they offered us a course as well from the company itself. So they have that encouragement from their end as well. So, and in the long run, I would love to learn the language. Yeah, I put my effort on that.
You should set a goal to speak to your colleagues every Monday and ask how their weekend were.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's something I can try.
Okay, well, you've given so much advice already, but do you have any final advice to the students listening who are about to embark on this journey?
Yes, considering my whole journey, I mean, one thing I can say is just enjoy your journey rather than think about the destination. That's what I've been doing. I never looked back when I took the challenge. So just cope up with it as you go. There are ups and downs. I mean, that's the life that you can't avoid. And work hard. That's the only advice, because put your best effort, whatever you do. It might be a small assignment. It might be an exam. It might be a job interview. Put your best effort, because that putting that hard work, giving your 100%, that's going to be payoff definitely. It will take a little time, but at some point it's going to pay. That's what I can say from experience.
Excellent. Some very good advice there. We have some questions in the chat for you from our listeners. We have a question here: how you managed to adjust to the climate change since you're coming from a sunny part of the world and landed in Sweden in the winter. How was that?
That's a tricky question, actually. Yeah. Initial winter was not that strong for me. So I thought it could be like that the next year as well. But like after a couple of months, you tend to feel that because we landed on August, towards the September, October, when you really feel the cold, and I'm never exposed to that. But I usually, I kind of like the coldness rather than sun. Maybe I have exposed to too much sun over all my life, burning in every day, like 33. So I enjoyed it. Sometimes it was hard. When it comes to like snow showers, it was really hard. And I didn't went out that days. But when it snowed, it felt much, much better. And I really like that. You get that settle that feeling, that hard coldness, and also you get the light, and you feel more energetic, and you get a whole different feeling. I don't have words to explain it. So in that sense, I think I just did pretty good. So far, I could manage a couple of winters. I don't know, maybe in the future we might get hard winters. But one thing I regret, I mean, one thing I don't like to accept is that the darkness. That's challenging, honestly. You suddenly realize that it's dark at the 2 o'clock in the evening. Oh my God, that was a bit challenging still. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's challenging for us who have lived here our whole lives as well. The darkness. The Swedes, they go inside. They hide in their houses. They don't come out till springtime. We have a few more questions as well. This is great, guys. There's one here. It might be a little bit. I don't know if you have an answer to this one, but how was the support received from the university after you were admitted to the program? How did you receive the guidance through the application process until you received the residence permit?
Aha. Yes, I would say that quite supportive. I mean, resident permit process is not really complex. It's more streamlined, and the proper guidance was provided for me from the university, and always encouraged to apply on time, even after coming here. So for me, as I'm a Sri Lanka, I had a little bit hard time to get this done because we didn't have a Swedish embassy in Sri Lanka. So in that case, I had to make a visit to India just to get my visa done. Other than that, it was like applying online to prepare your documents very well and show whatever that funds you need to show. And also for me, I had an interview at the Swedish embassy. So I prepared for that as well. I studied a little bit on the program that I was going to do and why I'm going to do. So other than that, it wasn't a difficult process. Also, the housing was provided. That's a huge relief. And you just need to apply there and it was guaranteed. So yeah, that was quite supportive.
That's good. You touched on this, I think, but there's a question if you faced language challenges when applying for jobs.
Yes, especially I tried to apply for a couple of jobs in Sundsvall because I participated every event that's organized by the university, these Metasplats campus event.
Mm-hmm. There are recruitment fairs, yeah.
Yeah, so I could develop a few connections here and there with the companies. Sometimes I visited them. So having that in my mind, I applied, but they were mainly looking for one who speak language. So in that case, I was quite had to stop there. But yeah, that's reality. You could face challenges such as.
Yeah. And just to clarify to our listeners, you're currently working for a company based in Stockholm, but you're staying most of your time in Sundsvall, and you're working either online or doing a commute. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the setup. I'm working for a company located in Stockholm, but since the situation, we are working, all the other members of the team also working remotely. And every 2 weeks we meet. So I make a travel to Stockholm and meet my friends and come back. But in the long run, I most probably in the next year, I plan to move down there and settle somewhere in Stockholm.
Nice. A new chapter in your journey, right?
Yeah, again, new challenge.
Yes, why not? Why not? Well, we have a few more questions, but I think what we'll do is, Salinda, if that's okay with you, I'll forward them to you and you can reply to the students directly. So let's see if we can do this. So we are just about to wrap up this session. Thank you so much for your time, Salinda. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
No problem.
Before you go, dear listeners, please give us some feedback on this session. What you do is you go to menti.com and you type in this code, and my colleague will put this code in the chat as well. And there are 2 short questions that you answer there to give us some super useful feedback on these sessions that we hold. So thank you so much in advance for doing this for us. And while you do this, I will just show you what we have coming up in December. On the 14th of December, we have a session on international possibilities. So if you're one of our current students and you're looking to go abroad, you have a fantastic session coming up about North to North, some super exciting partners there if you're interested in going abroad in the Nordic region. And on the 16th of December, we have the Alumni of the Month for December. The name is still kept a secret, but we will reveal it shortly, and you are welcome to sign up on the same site that you signed up for this session. And you have our email address there if you have any more questions to us. And of course, you can always follow us on Facebook. And with that, guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming and listening today. Have a fantastic day. It's quite cold here in Sundsvall. I hope you have better weather wherever you are in the world. And be sure to join us in the future for these sessions. So have a nice day, guys. Bye.
Have a nice day.